Most people look right through a janitor. To them, I'm just a part of the furniture, a background character in their high-powered lives. My brother, Jackson, is the worst of them. He's the senior VP of Miller Vane Tech, and every morning, he walks past me and sneers. Today, he stopped. He looked at my wet boots and laughed. "Clean that up, Caleb. And try not to be so useless for once. It's embarrassing that we share the same DNA." I didn't say a word. I just kept mopping. Jackson didn't know that the floor he was standing on belonged to me. He didn't know that Miller Vane Tech was currently being audited by a parent company called Aegis Global. And he definitely didn't know that I am the founder and 100% shareholder of Aegis. That I in exactly 4 hours, I'm going to trade this mop for a $10,000 suit. And Jackson is going to find out that the brother he called useless is the only person who can keep him out of prison. My childhood was a lesson in being invisible. My father, Robert, and my mother, Martha, worshipped at the altar of Jackson. Jackson was the athlete. Jackson was the Ivy League scholar. I was the one who liked to take apart computers and fix things. When I was 20, I came up with an algorithm for decentralized logistics. I showed it to my father, hoping for a "good job, son." Instead, he laughed. "Caleb, leave the business to your brother. You don't have the killer instinct. You're a tinkerer. Go get a trade or something." They used my college fund to pay for Jackson's MBA. They told me I should be proud to support my brother's success. When I protested, they told me I was selfish. That was the last day I spoke to them as their son. I moved out that night, took a job as a night shift janitor to pay the bills, and spent every other waking hour building Aegis. For 5 years, I lived a double life. By night, I was a ghost in the hallways of Miller Vane. I took the job there specifically to watch them. I wanted to see how Jackson was running the company my father had handed him, and it was a disaster. Jackson was cutting corners, falsifying reports, and treating the employees like trash. He was arrogant because he thought he was untouchable. Meanwhile, Aegis Global was growing. My algorithm became the backbone of modern shipping. I stayed anonymous. No photos, no interviews. I was the shadow CEO. I lived in a small apartment and kept the janitor job. It was my undercover research. One night, I was cleaning the boardroom after a late meeting. I found a shredded document in Jackson's trash can. I taped it back together. It was a secret offshore account transfer. Jackson wasn't just a bad boss, he was a thief. He was embezzling millions from the company Dad built. The day of the Great Reckoning arrived. The board of directors at Miller Vane was called to an emergency meeting with the representatives of Aegis Global, who had just completed a hostile takeover of the firm. Jackson was sweating. My father and mother were there too, sitting in the back, looking terrified. They had put all their retirement money into Miller Vane stock. If the company collapsed, they were homeless. "Jackson, where is the CEO of Aegis? We've been waiting for 20 minutes. This is unprofessional." "Robert, Dad, calm down, Jackson. We just need to show him the growth projections." I walked into the room. I wasn't wearing my blue jumpsuit. I was wearing a charcoal gray suit. My hair was styled. I looked like a different person, but my eyes were the same. The silence was deafening. My mother gasped. My father's glasses literally slid down his nose. Jackson just stood there, his mouth opening and closing like a fish out of water. "You're late, Jackson," I said, sitting at the head of the table. "And your growth projections are a work of fiction." Much like your loyalty to this family. Caleb. Jackson stammered. What is this? Is this some kind of sick joke? Why are you dressed like that? I'm the CEO of Aegis, Jackson. I bought your company this morning. And I've already sent the tape-recorded shreds of your offshore plan to the authorities. My mother started to cry. Not for me, but for the loss of their status. Caleb, honey, you can't do this to your brother. We're family. Family? I looked at her. Family is the college fund you stole. Family is the 5 years you never called to see if I was eating. Family is the coffee Jackson threw on my boots this morning. I pushed a folder toward my father. Dad, the company is bankrupt because of Jackson's greed. I'm liquidating it. But, because Silas, my late uncle, told me to always be the bigger man, I've set up a small trust for you and Mom. You'll have a modest house and a small monthly allowance. But you will never hold a position of power again. As for Jackson, I didn't save him. He was led out of the building in handcuffs an hour later. I walked back into the lobby. I saw the new janitor, a young kid who looked tired. I stopped, handed him my business card, and said, if you ever have a great idea, come to the 50th floor. I'll listen. Success isn't about the money. It's about being seen by the people who tried to make you invisible.